the Bulldogs make their way down the tunnel, but here is Adam Reynolds, who leads out the Broncos. It must be a strange experience for him. His old home ground. The Rabbitohs have been here at this venue for a long time. He's now in Broncos colours, playing game number 232 in his NRL career.
Yeah, the little master, as we said, 260 points last year for South Sydney, his beloved South Sydney. Looks a little strange, I must say, while seeing him in the Broncos colours, but boy, is it a shot in the arm for this club to have the class of Adam Reynolds, still with some great footy ahead of him, here to steer this side around, particularly with some of the great youth that they've got coming through. Tessie New back into the side. We've all seen and liked what Selwyn Cobbo's done in the opening few weeks through the trial period in round one. And here come the Dogs. So I was mentioning before, I think we might see Waddell shift out onto an edge. They've named him to start, and I expect Pangai Jr. to start in the middle of the field tonight to take on his old mate Payne Haas.
And here he is. All week the talk has been playing with controlled aggression. He has said it. His coach has said it. We'll see how it pans out.
They've been saying it for years, Warren.
Once the whistle blows, we will see what happens.
When they say controlled aggression, the earmuffs go on for Tavita. He only knows one speed. Matt Burton, big night for Matty Burton. He's come over from the Panthers. I mentioned his kicking game. He's up against one of the great kickers in the competition, and he's going to need to take control of this Bulldogs attack that, whilst it was a great win last week, only able to find one try. They're going to need more than that to beat Brisbane.
He was a super boot with his general play kicking last week, some monstrous kicks. And it's Adam Reynolds who gets us underway for the Brisbane Broncos. The kick goes down to the in-goal area. Paul Vaughan will bring it out for the Bulldogs, and they'll begin here. Tackled, driven back 5 metres out from their own line by some strong Broncos defence first up. Comes back to Pangai Jr., who gets a carry and an offload immediately here. Jackson around the back, grabbed there. Downstairs was Capewell.
He dropped that then, Jackson, into play. The ball got away with one there. Looked like the sticky grip on his hand. Ball just stuck to his hand.
There he is again, testing it out, make sure it's okay. Takes it beyond the 30 as Marshall King. One of the numerous players last week, Jeremy Marshall King, who underwent the head injury assessment. Controversy about that. And the Bulldogs, as a result, had limited preparation with so many players undergoing concussion protocols in the lead up to this game. Selwyn Cobbo brings it back at speed. They were there to meet him and leading the charge. He missed, but he adds his weight to the tackle to Vita Pangai Jr.
Yeah, came flying out of a cannon, looking for contact on Cobbo. He missed, but the others didn't. The Dogs responding here. Look at this
as he brings it out. And there is Pangai Jr. He saw him and said, "I'm not running towards you."
Oh, that was good.
That was a good call by the 19-year-old winger, Payne Haas. Develop into a battle between he and Pangai Jr. here tonight. Harrigan now. He was enormous along with Haas and also Palacia last week. Three middle forwards ran for almost 470 metres combined. Duffy on the kick. Clearing kick from Reynolds. And some contact afterwards. Of course, interrupted pre-season, especially towards the back end of pre-season games. Adam Reynolds didn't feature, of course, in those two affairs for the Broncos with some niggling problems.
There's a little swinging arm here. Watch this from Pangai in the replay box. Bang, there's the first one. He double dips, goes again. Lucky that didn't connect with Payne Haas.
Some contact on the upper arm, if not the shoulder, and now a penalty for a flop against the Broncos.
There's a good energy with the Bulldogs at the moment. And Pangai, as we know, he's going to go on report for that swinging arm, so he certainly hasn't got the memo about controlling his emotions. And temper's starting to flare here. There's plenty of emotion. Here we go.
Tavita, it's still going to be your penalty. It's just contact. Wait for Tavita to come out. Okay. In the last set, contact on the kicker is on report.
Oh no, contact on the kicker they wanted to look at. So he just clipped the legs of Adam Reynolds on the way through.
Reynolds was slightly properly off the back of this contact. There it is. Oh, a little touch. taken to the ground while he was in the air, and they have been black and white. And that sort of contact again in 2022. The Bulldogs have the ball via the penalty. It is the man in question, Pangai Jr., who takes it forward. First attacking chance in the game for either team as Waddell takes it beyond the 30 here. Scored just the one try last week against the Cowboys by Jaden Ockenbaugh as it goes to Jackson. Hands of Averillo put down there by Hetherington. An early mistake. There's another firebrand who'd be itching for a crack at these Brisbane Broncos, but he puts it down here and lets the Broncos off the hook. Downstairs to James Hooper.
Evening, Warren. Evening, everybody. Where else would you rather be at the end of a cracking Sydney Sunday afternoon than watching on Fox League the Bulldogs and the Broncos? Adam Reynolds' first game in the number 7 for Brisbane. Mick Ennis is spot on. Trent Barrett has made the move with Tavita Pangai. He's put him into the middle of the field. Corey Waddell will play on the left edge. In terms of the conditions, they are perfect down at ground level, Warren. Little bit of a light southwesterly, primarily blowing across the field.
It has been a cracking March day. What a way to finish off round 2. Great games over the weekend. This is shaping up to be a beauty right here. So it's Palliser to play it, 10 short of the halfway line. Turpin at dummy half. Comes now to Haas. Stop there and a good tackle by Waddell and also Pangai Jr. A mix up there. Carrigan ends up with it. Burden around the legs and Marshall King over the top. And the Broncos have it with one more from inside the 40. Again, Reynolds taken to ground. He was in midair once again. And say nothing about the contact once more, as they did with Pangai Jr. on the first occasion. Here are the Bulldogs to work it away through Dufty inside their own 10.
Yeah, it's been an immediate impact from the Broncos number 7. You can already see just how calm they are. Happy to play the long game here, roll through the middle, and Reynolds' kicking game just happy to keep turning the Bulldogs around. Here's the pressure there from Marshall King. Just enough to try and unsettle Reynolds, but staying nice and composed, the little number 7.
Second penalty here for the Bulldogs from their own end, James Hooper.
Tempers are flaring down here, Warren. Tavita Pangai up against his old club, but he's just had a little bit of niggle off the ball with the Broncos back rower, Jordan Ricky. Keep an eye on it.
We expected nothing less. And all the hype, you can believe it, because here he is.
He looks a lot more effective through the middle. There's a nice offload.
Second of the game already. Vaughan off Jackson. Takes it inside the Broncos 30. A do-over here after coughing it up through Hetherington. First time around at this end. Marshall King jumping out of dummy half. Burton gets there, fires it to Jackson. He comes out the back. Averillo takes them on. Good stop by Palliser and also Kurt Capewell. Midway through the set, they'll come back to a long left-hand side. Jackson for Burton. Steps off his left foot. Turpin stays alive on the effort. Closes the door on him. Marshall King comes back here to Jackson. Now Averillo, a little double pump. It goes to ground. A little lack of cohesion on that right-hand side to begin the game. Burns coming back midfield. He'll play it just outside the 10. This is the last in this set. They'll spread it. Burden, rubbers, well weighted as well. Tessie New coming across, takes no chances, takes it out of play. They've got themselves a goal line dropout.
Yeah, nice touch there from Matty Burton, out the back of shape. Summed up whether he wanted to use the footy and promote it and play. This was a nice run from Marshall King. Just testing the Broncos, keeping them honest through the middle, and on the back of the set, it's Burton just dribbling it into the in goal. Tessie New taking no chances. Earlier in that set, though, it was Averillo that went to the right-hand side. He's just got to get the ball to Matt Dufty. We know how dangerous he is on the edges. Get rid of the block plays, get it into Dufty's hands.
Awkward drop out here, put down by Hetherington. The second bounce was awful for him. It set up like a viper and spat over his left shoulder.
It was a cracking kick from Reynolds. Kept it low, drove it to the sideline. They put a target on Hetherington early. His hands letting him down. Maybe he's got the James Graham Vaseline on the hands. Maybe he's used the old tub.
That'll get back. The jammer. He could supply some Vaseline, couldn't he? Real reprieve there for the Broncos as Palacia takes it across the halfway line. Turpin from midfield comes out to Reynolds, looks inside, goes outside, New away to Staggs, a chance, Cobbo on the outside, Burton gets there, takes Staggs to ground, tries to get rid of it, and the Bulldogs fans go up. So do the players. They survived the scare as Reynolds set the Broncos the lights down this right edge.
Yeah, really good desperation. Good scramble here from the Bulldogs. They're hard to handle, but this is brilliant. Look how straight Adam Reynolds is. Look what it does to Matt Burton defending out on the edge. He had no option but to come in and check the lead runner. Adam Reynolds, beautiful play, and then Katoni Staggs, all brute strength, and then Addo Carr. Oh yeah, rallying the troops. Look at this, Tavita giving him a spray. It's all happening here at Accor Stadium.
He was vocal last week, as we mentioned, back in the dressing rooms. Josh Addo Carr becoming a real leader already on and off the field for the Bulldogs. Etherington, unhappy start to the game. The Broncos have won the last couple against the Bulldogs. You have to go back to 2019. The Bulldogs' last win against Brisbane, 30 points to 14. Pengai Jr. again. 10 short of the halfway line. He'll play it slowly here. And tangled up there with Jake Turpin. Jackson heavily involved as the link man to the halves either side, especially on that right edge for Jake Averillo. He brings it down here. He'll play it. Comes back to Burton, who has a massive boot. Not his best strike here, but still good enough to put New under pressure. He puts it down. Burton gets a result. And while it wasn't his best strike, when his NRL career is over, he has a future in the NFL as a punter.
Yeah, we've seen a few go over from the AFL, haven't we? And that was a towering bomb. He didn't hit it perfectly, but I said coming into the clash that we knew how effective Reynolds would be with his boot, but Burton needed a big night. Previous set, he gets a repeat set of 6. Now he throws up a towering bomb from 50 metres out. And all of a sudden now the Dogs, with a great opportunity to attack Kevy Walters. Well, not much you can do there, Kev. That was a beauty.
Tessie New, first game back this season after missing last week with a hamstring problem. Last fit to take his place in the team tonight. Likewise, to Peter Pengai Jr. in this last week with a hamstring. So Waddell plays it. Marshall King goes to Jackson. Averillo, Dufty. Ball's just a little bit behind him. Burns, though, gets across the line. He plants it down. Braden Burns scores. The Bulldogs on the board early here at home.
Yeah, really nice play out to the right-hand side. They've been trying to get the ball out there to Matt Dufty in the opening 11 minutes of this game. This time they get it there. Lovely ball, Marshall King, nice and wide. Gets Jackson attacking the edge. And Dufty just skipping on the outside of Kelly. That was enough to attract the attention of Farnworth in between Herbie and Coates. Watch this. The little skip here on the outside. Bang, straight on the outside of Kelly. In between Coates, who's backing off, which you can't do on your try line. And Braden Burns gets the Dogs on the board. Great work on the back of Matt Burton's towering bomb.
Put down by Tessie New, and then off the back of it, Braden Burns. And the former Rabbitoh in action here tonight, gets across the line and makes it 4 points to 0 to the Bulldogs over the Broncos. 7th try of his NRL career, playing in game number 42 tonight. He was one of the handful of players last week who went in HIA and left the field at one stage against the Cowboys. It was all hands too, including Aaron Schopp, who was the 18th man who was allowed to come onto the field during that win last week with all the injuries they had. But he's been pass fit to play. Likewise, Brent Naden, Jeremy Marshall King. Only Chris Patolo couldn't back up from the knock that he took up there in Townsville.
They're just dominating possession, aren't they? The Bulldogs at the moment. All their attacking footy's been down in the Broncos half, and that time some really nice shape out to the right-hand side. Great to see Dufty getting the ball in his hands nice and early. And plenty of strike, plenty of threat out there now with Burns and Naden and Addo Carr. Dufty. The edge is looking dangerous for the Dogs.
His first season as a regular kicker. Burton strikes it well. It'll go away to the right-hand side, though. Stays at 4 points to 0. The Dogs on top over the Broncos. Don't forget, following this game, Sunday night with Matty Johns, the Panther superstars, Brian Topo and stepping in, filling in once again, Stephen Crichton out of action. So Sean O'Sullivan, who's done very well so far in the 7-jumper. 2 from 2 the Panthers are. And it'll be Brian Topo and Sean O'Sullivan on the couch tonight with the boys on Sunday night with Matty Johns. Downstairs to you, James Hooper.
Braden Burns scored the try, Warren, but you can put it down to that genius floating bomb put up by Matt Burton. Tessie New really struggled with it. The breeze is blowing across the field and it is swirling, so you can understand why he had some difficulty. Burns and Burton, 2 of the Bulldogs' new recruits. There's 7 in the starting side, Warren. Promising signs.
There's been a massive overhaul, and of course there are more troops coming in 2023. Most notably, one Viliami Kickout, who grabbed 2 tries the other night in his 100th game in the NRL as the Panthers beat the Dragons. Stoppage here. Pangai Jr. going back to play it once again as Marshall King comes across to Jackson, hit by an avalanche of Broncos defence there. Payne Haas and Harrigan there to meet Vaughan. Minimal gain, maybe 15 inside their own half, and they kick it here as Burton goes to the air again. Little top spinner, this one, Cobbo coming forward, an awkward catch. He did it well. And boy, their hearts must have been in their mouths on the Broncos bench. Kevy Walters was up out of his seat below us here at Accor Stadium, Mick, as that one was mid-flight.
Yeah, just got a little big on Selwyn Cobbo right at the end as we see Tessie New out of dummy half and threatening now. But it was great hands from Cobbo. Good acceleration into the line again. He's been good early, Cobbo.
Here is Payne Haas. Enormous last week, as you would expect. Played 71 minutes, ran for 188 metres as well. From Turpin, it goes to Reynolds. Lovely ball on the chest here of Farnworth, who take it down just outside the 20. Last play for Brisbane. Kelly, left edge tonight after playing on the right last week. Reynolds goes back to Capewell. Farnworth again. Trick shot from the Broncos. The kick, the referee leapfrogs it out of the way. It'll go dead, and the Bulldogs bring it back to the 20.
Yeah, I had question marks over the first pass from Reynolds back to Capewell down the short side, but it was nice vision. Farnworth, great footwork. Back on the inside of Avarillo, just too strong. Look at this. Great work, referee, jumping over the top of that.
St Patrick's Day, he's wearing green. Little Irish jig right there. And Barrett. Stay calm up there high. The Bulldogs coach's box. It must be buoyed by what he's seen in the opening exchanges.
And an
15 minutes
start.
right here.
Really good start from the Bulldogs. As we see Tavita get his first rest of the night, he's brought plenty of aggression and energy. Here we go out to the right-hand side again. Hetherington able to hang on to the footy this time.
Marshall King, short side raid, Avarillo goes to Duffy, back into a hole, runs to Tessie New, bounces away from Palacia, who knocked the ball away, and the Broncos survive.
Yeah, that was sharp. Down a narrow short side. Duffy just accelerated and some poor ball control. And now a penalty brings all the good work undone. The Dogs attack ignited. Matt Duffy having a big input.
Good cover here by Palacia as he cut back in behind the play the ball, Duffy, and the shoulder there of the front rower enough to knock it loose from the flying Bulldogs fullback.
Yeah, that was cool from Palacia, the shoulder and then the nice little flick pass. And he's starting to find his way into the contest, Payne Haas.
And his average metres last year, just enormous, Haas. 60 minutes played per game, 160 metres per game running. And he's winding up once again behind Palacia, who takes it forward here just outside the Bulldogs 30. Just a one-half chance so far in the game. Reynolds goes back to Tessie New, gets away from Marshall King. Good footwork there. He's really built up in the off-season, Tessie New. Solid through the hips and upper legs as Kelly chips one. Corey Oates dives in. Try number 100 for Corey Oates. What a way to bring it up. A terrific kick by Albert Kelly. Couldn't have been weighted any better. And the big rangy winger flies onto it to bring up the century.
Yeah, down the short side, Albert Kelly with Reynolds out the back. The Dogs just hesitated, and that is brilliant. That is instinctively brilliant. This will look good front on. Kelly just glances out, puts it over the top of Ockenball, straight into the hands of Corey Oates. And the Broncos, they hit back. He loves it. There's his 100th try. Corey Oates in the NRL. And nice work. There was talk last week, Adam Reynolds speaking about Albert Kelly. We saw his instinct play against Cody Walker last week, where he plucked the ball out of Cody's back pocket and raced 80 metres to score. And with his first real injection down this left-hand side, gets a really nice chip straight over the top of Ockenball, and Corey Oates over in the corner.
In his 10th season in the NRL, it's been lean times for him over the past 2+ seasons now. Just 7 tries in his last 29 games before this one tonight here in Sydney, but he knows what that one means. And from Brendan's College up there in Yeppoon all the way to 100 tries in the NRL, the 6th Bronco to get there. Reynolds. From the sideline, drives it low. He'll miss to the left-hand side. It stays at 4 points to all. A great moment for Corey Oates, James Hooper.
Yeah, that draws Corey Oates level with the one and only Alfie Langer-Warren in terms of the Brisbane Broncos' top try scorers of all time. Steve the Pearl Renouf sits on top with 142 tries, and then you've got Alfie Langer and Corey Oates down in equal 6th position, both on 100. How good was Albert Kelly there, boys? He got an early birthday present, turns 31 on Monday. Just read the tempo of the game perfectly.
Amazing kick onto the chest. The flying Corey Oates. He's there to make the catch off the restart and gives it off to Keenan Palacia, who will play it here just inside the 20.
Gee, looking at that replay, that was special from Kelly. Like, he had a split second to realise that Ockenball, who's a big man, would struggle to turn around if he landed that kick perfectly. And in the blink of an eye, just changed his kick and lobbed it straight over the top. That was outstanding from Kelly.
Double threat it is. Kelly on the left-hand side with his kicking game, and Reynolds out here on the right-hand side. Reynolds so far, early days with his decision-making as far as which side to go to, when to switch, has been top shelf. Here he is again. His own side of halfway. With a spiral, awkward one for Dufty. He makes a good catch coming forward. He's had issues at times with his hands, but no trouble there. They'll play it for Braden Burns. Nice scorer for the Bulldogs. Midway through this first half on a cracking early Sunday evening here in Sydney. We've got a beauty. The Dogs and the Broncos. Ockenball it is. Up on his own side of halfway. Plays it for Marshall King. Horn. Comes out towards Carrigan. Also Jordan Ricky. Now Thompson, who's out there for Pangai Jr. Avarillo, good ball for Dufty. Kelly, though, shadows him the whole way, taking no dummies. Just herds him towards the sideline, 35 away on the last. Comes back to Avarillo. He'll bomb out towards Selwyn Cobbo coming forward. Naden bumped into one of the Broncos defenders. It was Staggs. There's been a knock on. Cobbo's put it down, and the Bulldogs will come back at them.
Their own worst enemy at the moment, the Broncos in their own half, particularly off the back of the Dogs' kicking game. A great opportunity now for the Bulldogs. After conceding points to Corey Oates, a chance to attack again. Burton did well there, just to pull himself out of the tackle, and on the way down, oh yeah, Naden likes it. The error from Cobbo and a midfield scrum and a full set attacking the Broncos line. Naden's got to understand what Dufty can do for him. Every time Dufty gets the ball, he wants to skip on the outside of Kelly. We saw what he can do earlier when he set up the try for Burns, but Burns has got to pull wider, give him some room to skip and attack.
Go to the right-hand side to begin with here as Dufty takes them on The base of the scrum. Stopped there by Capewell. Marshall King, Jackson. Here's Averillo now. Burton dummies. Shows it. Goes himself. Spins his way in.
I think he's been held up. I think Staggs holds him up here, Warren.
Staggs underneath is claiming he has held up Burton.
Cheers, I've got tackled 2. I've got held up. No try.
This will be some sort of effort by Tony Staggs if he has held up Matt Burton.
Well, he cuts hard off his left foot and accelerates through the defensive line. He had Broncos players turned inside out. This will look terrific. Cobbo rushes out of the line. And that's the trigger for Matty Burton just to pull out the left foot step. Watch this. Just cuts straight off the left foot there. And again, gets on the inside of Reynolds. Beats Ricky. Turpin comes across. New off the ground.
Possible obstructing the lead up.
And then Staggs does a tremendous job to get his body underneath the ball.
And the ball remains up at the conclusion of the tackle. Have a decision.
A desperate last-ditch effort by Tony Staggs to get there and stop Matt Burton from spinning and putting it down. There was some suggestion from the referee there may have been an obstruction play. It's been cleared, and the Bulldogs will continue on. Hayden from dummy half. They go wide through Jackson. Averillo. Dufty. Burns on his outside. Dufty almost beats Kelly. Got a piece of him. Dufty gets back to his feet. It was play on. They're only a metre away. Comes back here through the hands of Averillo. Marshall King. Tapped on by Burton. What a play that was. A bit of force in that pass, and he tapped it on its way backwards in the one motion. Remarkable. How's his hand-eye coordination? Siu Manafanai is out there. In fact, it was Paul Vaughan still working it forward. 15 metres out from the Broncos line. Last play here. Burton at the line again. Goes to Adokar. Back on the inside. Waddell. He goes close. Tries to reach out. He's come up centimetres short.
Yeah, this is nice from the Bulldogs. They're asking plenty of questions, both sides of the field. This time they come left. Then again, it's Burton, the long pass. Out to Adokar, back inside to Waddell. Oh, he goes close. But the Broncos there in numbers. Cobbo now trying to work it out from the corner. And the blue and white army, they're behind their side. The noise here is terrific at Accor Stadium.
A couple of brave carries needed right here. Palacia put his hand up, but he goes nowhere. Thompson was there, so was Vaughan and Jackson. Farnworth, left-hand side, comes in. Minimal gain of 5 or 6 perhaps. Turpin, midway through the set. Carry there from Corey Oates, who fancied himself as a back rower a couple of seasons ago. And now Haas beats the tackle there of Corey Waddell. They needed that at the back end. It gives them a bit of breathing room as Reynolds gets the kick away, a bump by Burton. From inside the 40, doesn't quite have the bend on it to threaten the sideline, so Dufty brings it back. And they'll play it here just outside their own 20. Ryan James on deck for the Brisbane Broncos in jersey 14 now is Ockenball. Shifted right-hand side, but he's going nowhere. Averillo hands it off to Burns. There's been some great impacts in this game. It's been tenacious. Kevy Walters and Alfie on their feet. They know how important it is this middle stage of the first half. The team stays and has developed into a real arm wrestle. Jackson comes to Averillo. A chance with numbers on this left-hand side. If Waddell gives it on to Burton, they were off and running. Still numbers on this side. Burton, he goes to Nate and cuts him out. In fact, Adokar put it down. The Broncos hang on, and it's Cobbo who'll play it about 15 out from his own line.
Yeah, Barrett barking instructions, a penalty now. That was a narrow short side for Burton to take on. They had plenty of numbers there. And the Broncos doing a really good job marking Josh Adokar at the moment. Here he comes. This was the initial play. They did well. Jackson deep into the line. Averillo giving the ball there to Waddell, and then they come down this short side. And it was Burton that fired the ball out to Adokar, and unfortunately the ball goes into touch, and now the Broncos with an easy exit from their own half as Waddell gets some running repairs on a cut near the eye. Max King into the action for Paul Vaughan. A good stint for Vaughan early.
cut up in the scalp as well for Corey Waddell. The magic of the Premiership, it's real, of course, and the players, the fans who love it. The NRL Telstra Premiership is so unreal. The best way to experience it is live. You can secure your seats from nrl.com/tickets. Magic around this contest already.
Been terrific. Been really physical through the middle. Both sides moving the footy well. Great conditions to do it. As we see Carrigan now linking up with Capewell. In fact, it's Ryan James who's into the action, as you said, Warren.
There's Turpin, good flat ball there for Reynolds. Now at the back, tipped on by New. Ricky comes to Staggs. Goes back inside the Fox, and Addo-Carr wraps him up there at the Bulldogs 20. 3 plays remaining in this set. Reynolds for Carrigan. First chance at this end since the magic of Kelly for Oates to score try number 100. Reynolds rubbers. Oh, what a take by Matt Burton again. He has the reflexes of a cat. Tip on at the other end when they were in attack, and then that one from point blank range just plucks it out of the air.
Yeah, here it is. He just tried to keep it a little high there, Reynolds, and you're right, Warren, just plucked it straight into that right arm. And these two superstars just going toe-to-toe at the moment. Reynolds coming up with some really big plays, and whatever he does, Burton's trying to do better. It's a good battle.
Down this left-hand side, the Bulldogs work it forward through Waddell. The blood stopped for the moment as Burton sums things up. Here's a terrific strike. This one bending away. Tessie New wanted nothing to do with that. It'll sit up here for Corey Oates. You can't strike them any better than that one.
See that just swirling. James Hooper said down at ground level, the breeze is just moving, and you can just see that ball floating and swinging in and away from Tessie New. Absolutely no idea where that was going to land.
If he started that over row 7, would have ended up in the field of play, had that much swing on it. Here's a mistake. Carrigan in the contact here just lost control of the ball into a Bulldog, and the Dogs will have it at the halfway line.
What's the movement here, Was? Look at this swirl away from Tessie New. It just starts dipping away from him. The error now from Carrigan, and the energy defensively from the Bulldogs seems to really be unsettling the Broncos' attack. Does it feel like that down at ground level, James? It looks like there's a real intensity with the Dogs' defensive line.
Yeah, there certainly is, Mick, and I'll tell you what, it's about to go up another level too. Tavita Pangai Jr. is stalking the sidelines at present like a caged lion, and there's a trainer with a card in his hand. I get the feeling Tavita's coming back on for another stint prior to half-time.
That was a short first-up effort from him, 15 minutes. Of course, first game here tonight for this new season as duffed. Ball hits the deck. They play it just outside the 40 as Hetherington sums them up and then takes it forward towards Carrigan and Capewell. Haas was also there. Jackson. And Thompson pushing up in support, spinning there, looking for an offload, but hangs onto it. Now Burton down the short side again. Waddell is there. They'll take him into touch, or the best part of it. He's only short by a metre or so there from the chalk. Burton across the field. Naden goes up, knocks it backwards. In fact, it was Burns flying for it, tapped it backwards, but the Broncos end up with it. And that play towards the sideline just cost them a bit of momentum in that set.
Yeah, the Broncos' right edge is under assault at the moment. Matt Burton seems to really like what's presenting in front of him. He's been down there a number of times, but the physicality and the brute strength there of Katoni Staggs on Waddell looked terrifying. It was a great shot from Staggs.
There is Haas, still working his way up towards the halfway line. Big numbers already, as you would expect. Reynolds goes to Kelly coming out. Braden Burns read that beautifully. Got to the 5/8 and shut it down very quickly. Turpin fires it back to Reynolds. It's kick for kick at the moment between Reynolds and Burton. Addo-Carr, another tough one to take. Made a nice adjustment. The seat of his pants almost as he made the catch. He plays it here for Burden as they work it away through Brent Naden. Pokes his nose through the line. Worked over backwards there by Jordan Ricky, who could have given away a penalty. The referee says that was okay.
All right, well, Tavita Pangai, as James Hooper just touched on, is back into the action. Here we go. Let's see what he dishes up this time. It was a fiery start from the big man.
Thompson puts it down. A chance here for the Broncos to launch a counter-attack. They go to Farnworth immediately. Cooley's Jets, as far as carrying the ball is concerned, Tavita Pangai, but now he can muscle up defensively. Hetherington is on deck here for Kevy Walters and the Broncos. 25 away. Goes to Palacia. Now Reynolds shows it. Stays alive. He bumped away from one defender. Marshall King gets there. So does Max King. And it's Palacia taking them on. The defensive line staying strong. He was trying to offload. Might have been a hand there from the Bulldogs, but in that situation, that's all fair and legal. They did well. Palacia tried to force his hand and made the mistake, and the Dogs work it away here from just outside their 20. Here is Pangai Jr. He played 15, had a 14-minute breather. Now he's back out there and picking up from where he left off with yet another offload. And a real feature of his game so far here this evening. King making it forward, 5 short here on the halfway line. Marshall King. Perillo turns it back on the inside. Hetherington, though, picked off nicely there by Turpin. And also Palacia. Flat ball here for Max King. Avarillo, short pass. Burden skips away there from the advancing to Tony Staggs. He's got feet to match the great hand, doesn't he, Matt Burton? Avarillo's kick towards Tessie. He knew Addo-Carr going forward to try and get to that contest was taken down there by Tony Staggs. It's going to be a penalty for the escort against the Broncos.
Yeah, there's a bit of feeling. We're talking about Tavita Pangai through the middle. Well, Tony Staggs came launching in when Addo-Carr made that superb take off the Reynolds kick the previous set when he was on the ground. And this time Staggs just cleaning up Addo-Carr as he tried to find a way through to contest for the footy. There's a bit of feeling between these two.
No surprise in a tight game off the back of a tight contest last week, and one which they won 6 points to 4 against the Cowboys. Matt Burton says we'll have a crack to edging back, taking 2 points here.
Yeah, only 3 carries from Josh Addo-Carr in this opening half. And one thing you grew to love with Josh down at Melbourne was his ability to carry hard out of the backfield and really help his forwards. Well, that previous set prior to him flying through and gaining that penalty, he spent most of that set with his hands on his knees and looked gasping for air. They need to find a way, the Dogs, to get him into their attack, because he can ignite them both in the backfield and also in good attacking position. Hasn't had a lot of chances yet in the opening fortnight of the competition.
You can imagine playing outside this man. He'd get all the chances in the world, but hasn't worked out that way so far in this first half. 13 in from touch. Just outside the 20. Very kickable one here for Matt Burton. Strike is good, but he pulls it away to the right-hand side. He's 0 for 2 here tonight. It stays at 4-all. It'll be a restart from the 20 for the Broncos. The strike was plenty enough good. So was the first one as well on the try, of course, earlier in the game by Braden Burns, but he's missed both attempts tonight. And will stay locked up here at Accor Stadium. It's Thompson. Bring it back here for the Bulldogs. Second of 5 straight Sunday games to begin the season in 2022. Regular 7-day turnaround for the first 5 weeks. That's a real blessing for Trent Barrett and his Bulldogs squad as they come to this left-hand side. Waddell there again. Once more, the ball goes no further. A couple of times it looked as though he shifted it on to Burton. There were numbers there. Now
here we go.
Back to Marshall King. Addo-Carr is there. He gave it to Naden. Tackled from behind in what was a try saver by Tony Staggs.
No advantage. no advantage. Scrum down.
Tony Staggs has come up with a tremendous tackle there. I'll keep an eye on the forearm. We'll try and get a replay for you. It looked like he came down on the back of Naden's head. Again, it's Burton down this left-hand side. They're hitting Reynolds, and then they're coming back through the middle. Marshall King back on the inside. Addo-Carr to Naden. Here comes Staggs. Ooh, we just dipped away there, the camera angle. This one might show it. Burton back inside. Here's Marshall King. Looked like he was going to make a break. Here comes the cover. And just when you thought Naden was coming through, oh yeah, last little lash there from Staggs into the back of the head of Naden. Plenty of feeling down this side of the field with Tony Staggs, Naden and Addo-Carr.
Burton's got them worried to bits.
Looks good, doesn't he?
Left-hand side for the Bulldogs. Just can't convert a chance so far here through the first 34 minutes of the game. Turpin waits at dummy half. Takes this right-hand side where they'll take it forward through Ryan James. Nowhere there in the tackle of Waddell. Oh, put down here by Hetherington. Give it back to the Bulldogs, who again will begin here at the halfway line. And the Broncos can't get out of their own end suddenly.
Yeah, a lot of errors around this halfway line coming out of their own half in this first half. That's their 6th error, the Broncos, and that was a simple one. He'll be disappointed with that, Hetherington. And an opportunity now with 5 minutes remaining. The Dogs have been the better side in this opening half at home. They just haven't been able to capitalise. They haven't been able to find more points, as we see Billy Walters there. He's waiting for his opportunity. But the Dogs with a great chance here.
He was impressive last week. Billy Walters in that win against the Rabbitohs. Down to you, Hoops.
There's a cracking contest, as Mick touched on, between the Bulldogs left edge and the Broncos right. You've got Josh Addo-Carr, one of the season champions and flyers of the game, up against the young gun Selwyn Cobbo and also Tony Staggs. And boys, Corey Waddell, unsung, but he's absolutely flying. He's had 13 carries for over 100 metres.
Burton chipping here. Addo-Carr on his bike. Takes Tessie New out of play. They'll force another goal line dropout.
Yeah, he would have liked that just a fraction deeper to give Addo-Carr a chance, but smart play. You could see Burton there just recognised that Tessie New was in the defensive line. He had to turn and work hard. He did well, Tessie. James Hooper absolutely spot on. Adam Reynolds seeing plenty of traffic down this side of the field. Waddell's got a radar on him. They are just isolating Reynolds defensively, and Waddell's just got the bumper bars up. He's into it.
The Dogs will bring it back. And Thompson winding up from a long way back. He runs towards James and also Hetherington. Lara Pitt, Corey and Benji back on the desk. Through half-time, what's happened here in this first half, and of course the win for the Knights against the Tigers in the first of 2 right here on the Sunday ticket. Marshall King just lopes out of dummy half. Avarillo goes to Dufty. Now he puts the speed on.
Oh, great ball.
Over the top. Held up here. Some desperate defence by Farnworth and Oates. He flings it back in the field of play. It's play on. Marshall King shows it. Takes them on. Stopped only a
Still
couple
on
of
was
metres out.
the left-hand side.
They go back to the right instead. Dufty ends up with it. A mismatch of numbers in favour of the Broncos there. They went the wrong way. Dufty will play it. Long left-hand side set now. Avarillo. And Marshall King again. Comes to Pangai Jr. The pass was forward. Oh, they had them shot on the previous play, but they went in the wrong direction.
Oh, Ryan James, blood streaming from the left eye. What about the tackle on Ockenbaugh? Beautiful ball. Oates caught infield onto the chest of Ockenbaugh. Farnworth. That is no mean feat. Look at the strength of the Englishman. Dominating. Rissoles Ockenbaugh. Throws him over the sideline. And the ball just had to go. It had to go left. Thompson went right at dummy half on the back of the play the ball from Marshall King. And the Dogs miss a huge opportunity on the stroke of half-time. Here's the run. Marshall King almost gets through. Oh, the elbow there of Ricky right into the left eye of Ryan James. Blood streaming out. Burton needed the footy on the left-hand side.
That's a nasty one as well. They need a good corner man to clean up that cut to get Ryan James continuing on here. Quick job. Looks all right. 2 minutes out from half-time. 4 apiece. And an absorbing contest here between the Bulldogs and the Broncos. Reynolds is going to hang on. They've made mistakes, put themselves under pressure. 10 of 14 sets completed by the Broncos to this point. The Bulldogs,
Chance.
13 of 20. Farnworth goes away to Oates. In fact, it's Capewell out there on the left wing. They play it just outside the Dogs' 40. Kelly waits for it. Comes here through Turpin. At the back for Reynolds. Here's Tessie New. Stops, goes, runs to Burton, who grabs him. He hits and sticks. New set here from the 40. That'll be play 0.
Got to hold on here, the Bulldogs. They've been terrific in this opening half, but a minute and a half remaining now. They can't concede points.
It's Reynolds. Goes to Kelly. Farnworth once again. Up there by Burns. Pangai Jr. was late in getting there. And the referee, a little bit of tolerance allowed there.
He didn't like that, Farnworth, did he? Just give the touchy a spray.
Understand why. Tavita Pangai Jr. flopping in over the top. They're 10 away through Palacia. Good carry there. Hetherington goes to New. Grubbers. There's Burton again. A little juggle. He hangs on to it. They can't get the ball past him.
Yeah, brilliant half, hasn't it been, from the former Panther? He's been superb, Matt Burton, down this side of the field, whether it's been those rifling torpedo bombs, his short grubbers, or defending kicks like this. Just all over it. Burton, great body position, and the Dogs hold on.
Hands of glue. And again, it was Corey Waddell. Or rather, it was Brent Naden on this left-hand side putting his body on the line. Avarillo, shift from their own end. Only 10 seconds remaining in this opening half. Kelly, strong contact there. Should ensure we go to half-time locked up at 4 apiece. It comes back to Burton. He'll run it here on the last. On his outside, a chance. He'll take it to ground, though. And that'll do us for the opening 40. It was terrific viewing as well. What a way to round out round 2. Resuming his position on the sideline, Kevy Walters alongside Adam Langer. They want to be down there, sniffing the Denko rub, feeling the intensity of this affair as close as they can get. Ben Barrett, David Furner, stand up there in the coach's box to watch on in the second half as Matt Burton gets us underway. Goes down to Oates, who hands it off. And it's Palacia who will play it here just outside the Broncos 10. Hetherington. Again, plenty of line speed here from the Bulldogs. What a turnaround it is from what they showed defensively, where they were the worst team in the competition. Points conceded in 2021. Turpin. Back to Hetherington again. Arms went in the air. The Broncos thought there might have been a penalty there for some high contact. Referee disagreed. Tessie New. He takes a carry and brings it back to the halfway line as Turpin goes to the right-hand side for Reynolds. An end-over-end kick. It'll land in no man's land. Allowed to bounce there by Addo-Carr and also Duffy. Fortunately for them, it bounced straight to the Bulldogs fullback, who will play it here 10 out from his own line.
Yeah, really nice set, and all started with the kick-off there from Keenan Palacia. What a find he's been. He's been terrific in the opening fortnight. Some nice carries from Hetherington through the middle, and New pushing around the ruck late in the set. Strong kick from Reynolds. And now the Bulldogs through Addo-Carr really struggling to get any momentum in this opening set.
There is King.
That's a good ruck, King.
Met though in a solid tackle all the same, but he offloads. Thompson looks to his right-hand side. Hetherington straightens them up. Carry there, well handled by Kelly though downstairs initially. From Marshall King. Nice stepping there from Pangai Jr. who'll play it back the halfway line on the last. And Burton again. Almost a regulation kick this time, but it has so much hang time once more. Goes down to New. When he saw it coming to him end over end, as opposed to the spiralling torpedoes that he's being terrorised with in the first half, he would have said, thank you, Matt, at last. One I can catch fairly easily. So Oates, the 6th Bronco to bring up 100 tries. So they came to the Premiership back in 1988. A terrific moment in the first half. It's Turpin. Comes to Palacia. Two just workhorses, aren't they? Palacia and Haas. One of the two getting a breather at the moment. Hetherington just punching it forward. Grabbed there by Jack Hetherington and also Vita Pangai Jr. It's Reynolds once again. Bombing out towards Addo-Carr, coming forward. There were Broncos there. Staggs didn't really contest the ball. He left the ground though, but Addo-Carr makes a good catch. The Dogs will work it away from their own 20, and we go downstairs to James Hooper.
Just out of the halftime sheds with both coaches, Warren, and look, Trent Barrett is very happy with where the Bulldogs are at. He wants them to keep asking questions through the middle of the field against the Broncos' big men, really take them on, and off the back of that, play out the back and use Matt Burton and Jake Averillo. Kevy Wilder's very happy, huge rap for the defence of his side so far, and hold the ball.
Their first couple of sets, getting to their kick, and now Averillo on a offload, awkward ball there, well handled though by Corey Oates, who had visions of going some way down the field until he was smashed by Averillo and also Jack Hetherington.
Yeah, it wasn't the play there from Averillo. Optimistic, saw a little bit of space, but just wasn't the place all the time for that sort of kick. And now the Broncos through Cobbo, already up towards the halfway line with 2 tackles. The Broncos somehow have got to try and find to get Tony Staggs into the game. They've got a Ferrari out there who is one of the most dynamic players in our game. He's touched the ball twice. That's it. He's had 2 runs the whole game. They've got to get him the footy. He's got to go looking for it. Farnworth's had 11 carries.
Turpin looking to that right edge now as Reynolds puts it again in the air. Staggs coming through up above them though. A nice catch here by Dufty. The Broncos thought they could drive him back into the in goal, but he gets to the turf quickly enough. And the Bulldogs jammed in a corner here, need some strong carries.
There's the ramifications of a poor kick from Averillo. Now the Bulldogs having to catch in a corner and cop the baseball bats from the Broncos.
Well, they're going to cop the baseball bats until Naden took as many metres out of them as any front rower in the game could possibly do, and he drove the Broncos back some 10 metres after contact. And now King, on just play 3, brings it back almost to the halfway line. A poor set for the Broncos defensively. The Bulldogs starting in a corner of the field. It's Hetherington. He will play it here just outside the 40 with a new set. A ruck infringement there called by the referee. Marshall King weaving.
Beautiful.
Links up with Braden Burns. Skips away. Stays on his feet. Dragged down from behind by Kelly. With a full set from close range. Through Dufty, Marshall King, Averillo, Burton, sideline to sideline. Addo-Carr puts it on the toe, taken out by the Broncos.
Yeah, Marshall King proving a real threat this afternoon as the Bulldogs will get another set here, played at from the Broncos. But it was Marshall King out of dummy half, bouncing one way, cutting back the other, threatening down this right-hand side. He found Braden Burns, who went oh so close. And nice ball movement back out to Addo-Carr. Here's Marshall King. Cut Kelly in half, got through the defensive line and linked up with Burns. That was beautiful from Marshall King. And then nice movement of the footy out to that left-hand side. I thought Burton could have taken the line on. He promoted the ball. Addo-Carr came up with a kick option. And all of a sudden, the Dogs have wrestled back momentum.
Here is Marshall King on this new set. Pangai Jr. running that right edge of the Broncos defensive line. For their second try of the game, their 3rd of the season. Here is Averillo. Stopped by Kobe Hetherington. Marshall King. Back to Max King. Another offload from King. Couple now in this second half already as Thompson spins. Taken down by Hetherington. Quick play the ball though. Here's Burton off the left foot.
Great tackle.
Held up there. Nice work on that edge by Ricky. Now Marshall King goes from dummy half. He put it down. The Dogs have a second and they've taken back the lead. Terrific heads-up play by Jeremy Marshall King, who has run well tonight from dummy half.
Been one of the best players on the field tonight from both sides. And it started with Marshall King the previous set, out of dummy half, playing down the short side, linking with Braden Burns. And on the back of a fast play, the ball here from Matt Burton. The marker's unable to get square, darting low. Great body position. And doesn't he love it? And the Dogs have responded. The Dogs are in front. Marshall King's got the Dogs in front. Burrowing low, getting between defenders. Jeremy Marshall King. He's got the Dogs in front.
You're wearing a blue and white jumper under that shirt, Mick. You sound a bit excited there.
Well, it's great to see. I mean, it's been a position where the Dogs have really struggled to have attack, but on the back of some damaging ball runs and some nice ball movement from players around him now. It's been a lean couple of years, but we're starting to see the best of Marshall King. And around that 20-metre line was a great spot to attack before, where he picked up Burns, and that was great dummy half play.
A Bulldogs hooker scores from close range, and Mick Ennis is up and out of his chair and barking. Who let the Dogs out? Become a Baha man. Here's Burton from close range. He adds the extra 2, and it's 10 points to 4. And while it's not a massive crowd here tonight, they will grow in number, James Hooper, if the Bulldogs keep playing like this.
They are vocal, Warren. You can absolutely hear them. Outstanding from Jeremy Marshall King here. And what about the 11 out of 10 celebration from the Flying Fox? Have a look at him. That's why they brought him to the club, Michael. They want an injection of enthusiasm. They want winners. He comes out of the Melbourne Storm system. He's up on Brent Naden's shoulders there. He loved every minute of it.
I think he just walked past you and said, let's trot, Hoops.
On a Sunday night, what a way to finish off round number 2. Thompson, the Bulldogs lead the Broncos to first up winners last week in round 1. It has been absolutely entertaining. Good carry there by Pangai Jr. Don't forget NRL 360 Mondays till Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Braithen Astor and Paul Kent on the desk. There's a lot to talk about this weekend. Is there drama at Concord? There's always a coach under pressure. A couple of weeks ago, it was Trent Barrett. Look at him now, flying high at the moment, on track to be 2 from 2 to begin this new season. Marshall King comes back to Burton. Clearing kick, it is huge once again. Tessie New says, Selwyn, do your best with that. He puts it down, ends up with it under pressure there from Addo.
It's shades of Joey Johns on Tchaikovsky many years ago at Marathon Stadium with the towering torpedo bombs. The Broncos back 3 just can't get near it. Look at this. They've got no idea. Addo flying through. Cobbo did well to regain the footy. It's all the Bulldogs.
It is shades of Joey Johns with a bionic leg. What a kick. Here is Payne Haas. He says, boys, get on my back. Carry you out of our own end here, and they need something at the moment. The kicking of Burton has them struggling once again. Reynolds drills one low. Boy, what a contest it is tonight between the two kickers. That one barely 10 feet in the air, but it travelled 50 metres on the full. Line drive off the right boot of Adam Reynolds. Bulldogs bring it back here to their own 40 through Brent Naden. Marshall King. High scorer who's put them in front. Ockenball and off his wing for a carry. No gain there for the Bulldogs. On his right-hand side once again. Trouble here. Braden Burns losing it. It was one-on-one. Farnworth beats Ockenball. Farnworth will run away and score. They'll want to check it, but there were 3 in the tackle initially. They all dropped off. Farnworth ended up with it, and he runs away to score for the Broncos.
He's been one of their best, and it's a reward for effort here. We'll check it, no doubt about that, but Farnworth has been, without doubt, one of Brisbane's best. It's Braden Burns just taking a regular hit up. Payne Haas, he drops off the tackle, that's fine. Farnworth, he goes into the backfield, beats Ockenball, stands him up off that left foot and just accelerates to the try line in the northwestern corner, and all of a sudden,
just watch it again. Burns is down there on the ground, going nowhere. You could make a case the tackle had been completed.
I think it's fine. I think he was still moving towards the ground as Farnworth reached it out of his grasp, and it's a great play from Herbie Farnworth. And now Adam Reynolds, the sharpshooter, he missed the first one from a similar position, a chance now to draw the game level. He's had a tremendous point scoring record, Adam Reynolds, here at Accor Stadium. And on the near touchline, a chance to level the game. Geez, wasn't that a turning point? It was all the Bulldogs.
Out of absolutely nowhere, as they say in the classics, so much against the run of play. Adam Reynolds last year, 260 points scored for the Rabbitohs. Highest point scorer for the Broncos was Jermaine Asako with 124. He brings a lot with his right boots. But a big kick here for Adam Reynolds. The strike is good. He gets the flags in the air. 4 becomes 6, and we're back once again locked up. James Hooper at 10, playing 10.
The little master, Adam Reynolds, never in doubt, Warren. That's why he is the Brisbane Broncos prize recruit. And what about this wind that is blowing across the field at the moment? Matt Burton is causing the Broncos back three absolute nightmares. They don't want anything to do with it. The closest I've seen to the way that Nathan Cleary can execute floating bombs and torpedo bombs.
What a battle it's been between Burton and Reynolds here tonight. Worth the price of admission and then some. Pass to bring it back out for the Broncos, and look at him go! All the way back beyond the 20. What a colossus he is. Tremendous carry off the restart. He got them out of trouble in the previous set. They muscled up. One-on-one strip from Farnworth on Burns. They're locked up at 10 apiece. Haas just keeps on keeping on. Here he is again to emphasise the point. Stopped just on his own side of halfway as Turpin waits at dummy half. Comes here to Carrigan. Comes towards Hetherington and King. Downstairs was Corey Waddell. Broncos, good meters here off the back of points. Reynolds with the kick. Addo trying to get back there to the in-goal area. He does a comfortable catch and a rare error on the distance on the kick from Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, conventional kick. Kevin Walters and Alfie Langer watching on. Surely they're planning an SOS out to Katoni Staggs. It's outrageous. Katoni Staggs has hardly been in the game tonight. One of Brisbane's most destructive and dynamic players. Someone's got to get a message to him to get himself in the game.
It is remarkable given he plays outside Adam Reynolds, but leading up to half-time, the Broncos only had 2 tackles for the entire first half inside the Bulldogs' 20. A lack of opportunities in attack in that opening half, and they scored against the run of play here once again. Here's Dufty. Farnworth jamming in, taking him to ground to help there of Carrigan. Heavy contacts on Dufty, who is under the tackle. Gets up, barking there at Carrigan. Averillo feigned a kick. Burton shifts it on. Waddell hasn't got past him too many times on that left-hand side for Naden. We'll get the dummy half here on the last. Burton bombs away out towards Ockenbaugh. Contest here against Oates. Ockenbaugh backwards, cleaned up there by Kelly. No knock on from the Broncos. Another change coming up for Brisbane. Billy Walters about to come on. This will be interesting to see what role Walters picks up. Coming on for Jake Turpin, so Walters will go to dummy half. Here he is, lending his weights to the contest here as Staggs waits for a chance out there on that right edge.
He's just sitting out on the right edge. I think of some of the great centres. One I played with at Brisbane was Justin Hodges, and no matter the contest, whether it was a dummy half run or one off the ruck, he just continually found a way into the contest. Staggs has got to come and invest himself. He's got to get involved in the game. Brisbane need him.
Reynolds again, up to the ground by Thompson. Addo Carr misses it cleanly. Now Staggs gets it, puts a kick in. Trailing back, Ockenbaugh is there to kick from Staggs. Well, there's an involvement, one he'd like over again, though.
And an opportunity now for the Bulldogs. Look at them, they're on their haunches too, they're hurting. Both sides just going toe-to-toe here through the middle, getting into the really important nitty-gritty parts of the game. Thompson struggling. Here's Naden working hard. The outside backs of the Dogs digging deep here. Jeez, he's been good, this man. Corey Waddell. What a game he's had.
Massive metres, 18 carries, 160 metres for the game. Duffy comes out here to Burns. Tries to put a step on Farnworth and Kelly. They're taking the ground. One for the moment. Stopped again there with Corey Waddell, but boy, he has earned his cash tonight. Burden kicks. Addo Carr steaming through. Kick was a bit deep for him. Tessie New wins the race to get there first. Cobbo, though. Pass comes to him, wrapped up 10 out from his own line. A penalty.
What player's offside?
Was it Luke Thompson coming through potentially, who's been pinged here by the referee?
Yeah, it's a real let-off, and the Brisbane players take a huge, huge breath. They were under pressure there. It was a nice kick from Burton, maybe a little long for Addo Carr, but nonetheless, they're on their 10-metre line. And an easy exit out of their end. Reynolds just rifling that downfield. They're up to the 40-metre line already, Brisbane. At what point does Barrett inject beyond Oates? We've seen what he can do around the ruck. He's sharp and he's dangerous, and with plenty of fatigue in the middle, he might be the man to break this game open.
How it pans out, he may not get a chance here tonight. The moment you say that, though, as the Broncos work it away from their own end, below us, Biondi Odo gets on his feet. Farnworth. Still alive here, the Broncos, bringing it back midfield. I'll play it inside the Bulldogs 20.
Big spaces around the post, Warren.
Oates did well. Now Walters out of dummy half. He really troubled the Rabbitohs with his running game last week, especially in that second 40 up there at Suncorp Stadium. Carrigan to his right-hand side. Hetherington back against the grain. Well handled, though, by the Bulldogs. King was there. So was Sigamanafenai and Thompson. Now Reynolds, Ricky off his hip. He's gone close, but he's stopped half a metre out.
Oh.
Reynolds between the legs, and there is Katoni Staggs. It's Fiji and 7's rugby from Adam Reynolds.
Can you believe it? What's this from Adam Reynolds? It's a lovely play to Jordan Ricky. Ties up all the defenders, sucks in the left edge of the Bulldogs and through the legs. Can you believe it? He's just thrown it through the legs into the arms of Katoni Staggs. This will look brilliant. Oh, that's a great angle from Fox League, straight through the legs.
He's playing in the NFL. He wants to be a centre for the Cleveland Browns. Can you believe that? He's a long snapper.
He's arrived. Katoni Staggs is here at Accor Stadium. Did he drop the ball?
Stand by.
Has he got it down?
Ooh, there was a hint on that replay of it potentially.
Oh, here we go, Warren. Buckle up.
And Ziggy Persha-Klasser-Adamski says we will investigate this further.
Yeah, the Dogs fans going absolutely berserk here on the eastern side. They saw the replay. Waddell lunges. He's been everywhere tonight.
We've cleared everything up to this point. In attempting to ground the ball, Katoni Staggs loses control.
Loses control. And the Broncos bomb an enormous opportunity. Reynolds doesn't deserve that. That was a piece of brilliance.
The likes of which I can't remember in the NRL. A dummy half shoveling it NFL style between his legs for a man to go in almost untouched, but loses the ball in putting it down.
Does he lose it?
He loses it.
Yep.
Comes away from his hand. And he had to regrip it in that situation there, and he couldn't plant it down with his body while the ball was off the ground.
The last person I saw do that was, in fact, Justin Hodges. Down a very, very thin short side. It may have been Jarrell Yao-Yi that scored. We're going back a while. It was Justin Hodges on the Gold Coast.
Logic, Jarrell Yao-Yi. Here the Bulldogs now. Dufty, big fend in the face of Kelly. Did well to hang on to him.
He's been sharp, Dufty, tonight.
Back at the halfway line, Averillo. We'll see you man for 9. Nice straight run there. Well handled though by the Broncos middle third. Carrigan in particular with Haas. Play number 5 in this set. Burden holds it up, gives it on to Waddell, and again the play stops there. It's 35 away. This will be the final play in this set. Burden will kick. Out. In fact, he'll go down the middle of the field. I thought he was going to kick out here towards Ockenball, but he went down the middle, and it was perhaps the most gentle kick he's put in all night. An easy one there for Tessie New.
He almost smiled, Tessie New, that it was a conventional kick. A sigh of relief. Finally, Reynolds gave him a little bit of reprieve from the towering torpedoes. Was if this goes down to the dying minutes, we've got two kickers that can crack them from 40. Two real sharpshooters, field goal range. This game's in the balance, but Reynolds and Burton may just be the keys here tonight.
Now a shift, a chance out here. Farnworth grabbed though by Avarillo and also Ockenball. At the halfway line, Kelly. Need to work it back towards the middle of the field here, towards the back end of the set. They do exactly that. Carrigan making his way further towards the Bulldogs line. Here's the last. Comes back to Reynolds. End over end. Not a deep one. Hoping to make a contest of it. He does. Good catch there by Ricky. Was it on that far side? They'll wrap him up though. And the Dogs have got through plenty of work, as the Broncos have so far in this game. But they'll have to do more right here to take it away from their own 20.
He didn't have the depth on it, did he, Adam Reynolds? He'd like that over. It's Carrigan out of the line on Josh Jackson.
You mentioned field goals, Mick. We'll wait and see how long either team waits. The Broncos kicked one last week. It came via, yes, Kurt Capewell. Nobody saw it coming.
I don't think he's getting the ball tonight with Reynolds.
Kurt didn't see it coming. It was an ad-lib.
Here he is.
The beauty. Biondi is out there. Unmistakable with the dyed locks. Comes through Jackson. He goes to Avarillo, holds it up. Now Dufty fending away there from Billy Walters. Still going. In fact, it was Hetherington, not Dufty. Biondi. Here's Avarillo. He chips it towards the corner. Kelly bats it down. Oh, they will say knock on. The Broncos surely will challenge this.
Yeah, I'd like another look at it. Yeah, see Avarillo, they can challenge it. Challenge it, tempting him to challenge it. Does he pull towards his own goal line?
Brisbane Broncos are challenging the on-field ruling.
I thought watching it live, it went backwards off the hands of Kelly.
I did too.
Did he knock it on in trying to gather it in once he was on the ground? Right idea from Avarillo, just didn't have the execution. There's the touch from the hands of Kelly.
That's gone back.
Goes backwards. What happens here, though?
I think he regains it.
Yeah.
Albert Kelly has made contact with the ball and knocked it backwards. Challenge is successful. He's tackled at that point.
Good challenge. Broncos, that was an important one. Really important challenge. Well done from Kelly.
Change over here. Yeah, Broncos ball.
That way as the play unfolded. Both teams, importantly, saying their challenge with 18 minutes remaining. And you can't split them. It was 4-all, it's 10-all. The Wooden Spooners from 2021 up against the Wooden Spooners from 2020. They've both come a long way. It's fair to say that, given what we've seen over the first couple of weeks here in 2022. Hetherington to play it for the Broncos. Across to Carrigan. Reynolds is floating out the back. Talking to his forward, saying who he wants to go next. They'll work themselves out. Walters jumps out of dummy half.
Great run.
Nicely. We get downstairs quickly to James Hooper.
Tavita Pangai Jr. stalking the sidelines. I believe he's about to be the next change, boys. He's yelling out. He's heavily involved.
Stint number 3 coming up for TPJ. Dufty. Catch taken by Addo-Carr. We'll play it here and they begin again inside their own 20. And the boot of Reynolds has had the Dogs at this end camped a lot in their second half. And as a result, possession has slowly but surely swung back towards the Broncos' way in this second 40. Still, the Bulldogs have had the better of it. The Broncos have had more in their second half. Biondiotto over the head there at Jackson. Sits up nicely, though, for Hetherington. That was fortunate for the Dogs.
Chance on the short side. Kelly's back there now. Slow play the ball.
Jackson. Numbers in motion all around him. Oh, a mix-up here. Averillo. He'd like to dig a hole. Trent Barrett says, boys, we have to muscle up defensively here because they've given the Broncos a terrific chance.
Yeah, it was the right idea. The width of the pass from Biondiotto gave the Dogs a real opportunity to attack on the edge. You can see there Averillo just taking his eyes off the footy, and he knows that was an important one. The Broncos now full set inside the Bulldogs half. It's been few and far between this second half being down here.
He had something in mind there, Averillo. There were players in motion all around him. A little trick shot on that far side at the back end of the set. Just got ahead of himself. Comes to this left-hand side. Tessie New for Farnworth. Too much speed for Rockenbaugh. He'll dive in. Is there something to check here? The Bulldogs thought there might have been something to look at. The referee for the moment says 4 points, Brisbane. They're in front for the first time today.
Yeah, watch the intensity and the intent in which Albert Kelly accelerates here off the scrum. Watch this. He goes really hard into the defensive line. And it's Corey Oates that goes through. I'm not sure. We'll need another look at that. Braden Burns blowing up. But Farnworth, what a second half he's had. Kelly into the line. Coates-Willie makes minimal contact. He's on the outside shoulder. Will that be enough? Farnworth, great speed on the outside. Ockenbaugh just couldn't rein him in. He's been brilliant. Tonight he's been everywhere. He's been busy, Farnworth. Over 200 metres carrying the ball.
Try has been confirmed by the bunker as we watched that replay. They were happy. The contact there between Oates and also Burns had no significant play as far as what happened on the edge for Farnworth and Ockenbaugh.
Yeah, well, that's a big call, and it all started with Albert Kelly. Real purposeful. Off the scrum, he was thinking points straight away. Scrum play, and it's come off with perfection. Farnworth, just too much speed for Ockenbaugh, and now Reynolds with a chance to extend it to a converted try.
The mistake by Averillo proves to be very costly here for the Bulldogs. Try for the first time in the game, and now Reynolds.
Listen to the faithful.
Similar position here from where he converted the previous Farnworth try. Strike is a good one. Once again, he brings up 1,900 points in his career. Adam Reynolds motoring towards 2,000. The first of 3 seasons with the Brisbane Broncos right here, James Hooper.
This is why the Brisbane Broncos bought him, Warren. He can ice pressure kicks like that in close games. And Herbie Farnworth, he has absolutely shown Katoni Staggs up this evening. 14 carries, 202 metres, 4 tackle busts, a line break and 2 tries. And then you look at Katoni's numbers, only 3 carries for 36. As Michael Ennis has pointed out, he's a Ferrari, but he isn't really having that much of an involvement.
He's in the garage at the moment. A bit of a slip there on that piece of turf, a soft piece of turf for Corey Oates. We've had so much rain in Sydney, quite obviously, as we have pretty much everywhere on the east coast of Australia in the last month plus. There's Payne Haas.
He's had a big second half, Payne Haas, hasn't he? Charging into the defensive line there.
Carrigan. TC Rabati pushing up in support with a cameo role at the back end of the game last week against the Rabbitohs. Similar role here tonight. Walters out of dummy half again. Running a long way. He's 40 out. A chance for an attacking kick here for Reynolds. Down the short side. Will chip it in behind them. Wants to make them work it away from a corner. Duffy hits the deck. And they've got them jammed once again in that northeastern corner here of Accor Stadium.
Yeah, Reynolds in back play, just stretching out the calves. It's his first hit out for the season. I'm not sure if it's a calf or an ankle injury, but it looks like it might be cramp. But that was a lovely kick. Walters out of dummy half, proving quite the injection, hasn't it? threatening and probing out of dummy half. That time found his way through the defensive line, but a penalty now for the Bulldogs.
They needed that. Paul Vaughan is back out there, so is Tavita Pengai Jr. Never see a Manafanai coming from the field. There is the man who may well have a big say in how this pans out for the home side. What's he got left in the tank in game number 1 for him this year?
Well, it's a big 12 minutes for him. He's had that balance tonight of aggression. He overcooked it in the first set of the game, got himself on report over the challenge on Adam Reynolds as he gets another offload. But the aggression and the carry tonight, there's been a good balance in it for Tavita, but a big 12 minutes here for him. Already making an impact.
They're inside the 30 as Vaughan will play it for Beyondioda. Jackson for Avarillo, takes them on himself. Capewell staying alive in the play. Penalty here for the contact.
It's foul play.
Rabadi was there, so was Capewell. 2 points is no good, they'll tap it and go.
That second phase has really caused Brisbane trouble tonight. 13 offloads from the Bulldogs and none from Brisbane. None at all. And it's Tavita Pengai that's having great success with it.
Here he is. 4 offloads so far in the game. He's 10 metres out. Takes the tackle this time. Beyondioda. Flat ball there for Vaughan. They were flat on their line. Walters slow to move up there. Almost paid a price. Beyondioda. Little switch play here. He's gone close. Pengai Jr. burrowing. He thinks he got it down. The referee disagrees. Play on is the call. Avarillo shows it. Takes them on. Dufty on the switch. Shapes to pass long. Now he goes out to Naden. Cuts back on the inside. Ball out the back. Picked up here by Burton. He stands. We'll give it to Beyondioda. They're screaming for it on this right-hand side. He shows it Beyondioda. Taken down heavily here. Good contact from Kelly and also Farnworth.
Good connection there from the Brisbane defensive line. They need to hold on here.
Avarillo, they come up quickly on that right edge. They go wider still. Dufty kicks. Pressure on Tessie New. He comes up with it and stays in the field of play.
Yeah, brilliant work from Tessie New. He had a hand in Farnworth's try off the scrum where he showed a great touch.
Move together, here we are.
Great draw and pass, which put Farnworth away in great desperation there, sliding in. Addo Carr breathing down his neck. Katoni Staggs out of dummy half.
And into that, he snuck down the short side. They take him into touch. They'll give away a penalty. That would have been a Bulldogs disaster right there. Got the Broncos, though, out near the sideline. Just at their own 20. 4 plays gone. Here's a shift, a long one from Kelly to Oates. Digs in behind the line. Stopped there by Burns. Last play. Kelly finds Walters under pressure. Pengai Jr. out to meet him. Good kick, though, by Billy Wallace. It'll go down to Dufty, who has a little Dufty moment. 10 out from his own line.
Jordan up square, he said.
Full set there inside the Broncos 20. Pengai Jr. can't have been too far away in that carry where he almost burrowed his way in.
It went awfully close. The Broncos at the moment on their haunches. The Dogs just need to find something. Someone needs to take it upon themselves and step up here. The Broncos struggling with fatigue through the middle.
Here is Pengai Jr. Stopped there by Walters and also Haas. Offload number 5 for the game, Beyondioda. They'll pick up some extra metres here. Best part of 10 of them. Another offload. Burton looking. Says, I'll take them on myself. And here they are, just outside the 20. Good work from Beyondioda and Pengai Jr. before him. And in a cool head, though, Hetherington comes back to Vaughan. It might work out for them. An offload. Juggle. Avarillo is there. Stopped only just by Reynolds. A try saver. It goes to Burton. He tried to give it on to Addo Carr. It looked forward and has been called forward.
Stoney, control it.
The pass was too wide. Burton needed to be closer to the ruck. The long pass allowed Brisbane's thin defensive line to get up in the face. It's Staggs that puts him under pressure. Took it upon himself, Katoni, to come out of the line. Had to make the play, and it's a big one. Burton's pass goes forward. Cobbo all over Addo Carr. What a battle that's been. And Brisbane hold on.
Adam, over there, over there, over there. You don't get a choice.
The clock ticks inside 8 minutes remaining. Reynolds,
Time off.
the old pro, says we'll just slow things down here. Time off for the moment. Back on now. Cobbo under pressure there. Pangai Jr. coming out. A man possessed here at the back end of the game. A young winger going sideways. Now a shift. Capewell.
Do they know they're in front, Brisbane?
Avarillo up in his face, trying any way to get out of their own end, taking a real chance though, leading 6 points to 10. Especially when you have that boot of Reynolds in your back pocket. Now they're up and riding. Comes out here to Corey Oates. Steps back on the inside, beats Burns. Hetherington's there, wraps him up. They brought it back to almost the halfway line. Some adventure from the Broncos, who pays off on this occasion.
Right off.
Haas gives it to Carrigan. Reynolds senses a chance. Staggs gets away from Naden. Keeps it alive. Goes back here to Ricky. A little goose step. Adokar will take him into touch. He took on the Fox. The Fox says, not on my watch.
Yeah, really nice, enterprising play. Started with Albert Kelly down this near side of the field. Lovely lofted ball over the top. It was for Corey Oates. They move it out to the other side. Staggs with the offload. Ricky did well. Got around Waddell. Took on the outside. Adokar needed to stay infield. Great experience, great strength. Doesn't he love that, Adokar, the Fox? Loving it.
There'll be a lot to talk about tomorrow night on NRL 360 and also Benji at 7:30 p.m. following the boys. Benji to be joined this week by Mitch Moses. They'll also be checking in with superstar halfbacks Adam Reynolds and Jerome Hughes. Won't there be a bit to talk about with Ren Diggity off the back of this game?
It has been a cracking game. Reynolds been in the thick of things beyond Oates, now out of dummy half, finding Hetherington. What a way to finish round 2 of the competition. This has been fantastic.
Here's Jackson, thinking about going left. Comes back to Pangai Jr. through the middle. Stop him there. No offload this time. Payne Haas makes sure of that. 4 plays gone. 5.5 on the clock. Goes to Avarillo. Burton showing it again. It's trying them out that left foot step. They must have worked so hard on him during the week, saying nobody takes a dummy, nobody takes a step. Back in the inside from Burton. Avarillo, was he taken down illegally after the
kick?
Yes,
he was.
Yes. The referee says that tackle was no good, and the Dogs will have a full set from close range.
Yeah, Carrigan filthy at this call, but you could hear the roars of the Bulldogs army go up as he was hit. It was certainly late, and there's been a real focus on the protection and the kickers. There's not a lot in that. It was late, but it wasn't dangerous, and that was enough for the referee. They're going to challenge this, Brisbane, are they?
Time off. Chids, we have a captain's challenge from the Broncos. They're challenging the timing. They're challenging the timing of the late tackle ruled on field.
Well, this would be a massive call by the bunker to overturn the on-field referee's interpretation of this.
Well, there's got to be some trust, doesn't there, and some feel allowed for the on-field referee. He's out there, he's in the middle. Someone in a bunker can't tell the contact and the force. And
Pat Carrigan makes contact with the kicker while he's in a vulnerable position. Challenge is unsuccessful.
I think they had to support the on-field referee. They had to.
Having said that,
there was not a lot in it. I don't think it should have been a penalty.
I'm with you.
I don't think that should have been a penalty. I think there's been a number of moments this weekend where I think it's left a lot of us rugby league lovers bemused.
That's a stock standard contact for mine from a forward chasing out. The contact was after the kick. Nothing wrong with the contact as far as foul play was concerned. Beyond Oates goes to Pangai Jr.
Wouldn't he love one, Tavita?
Up against his old club. The club that said, you can't help us out in the future. Avarillo, Dufty, stops, beats Kelly, put him in the chair, runs past him. Dufty taken down though by Farnworth. 3 plays gone. Inside the Broncos 10. Here's beyond Oates. looking for Averillo, and now Burden goes to Naden, and O'Carney's outside. Naden taken down. Good stop there by Staggs. 2 plays left in the set. Just over 4 minutes remain. Beyond Oates, he gives it to Vaughan. Run away there from the tackle of Rabadi, and they've got one left. It'll come to Averillo, who will kick towards the corner. A contest between Oakenbaugh and Oates. Oates puts it down, taken out by Capewell. Dropout coming up.
That was a great kick from Averillo. There's been a lot of criticism, and his kicking game and his end of sets haven't been great to start the year. But that was pinpoint Corey Oates at full stretch. It's been quite the battle with Jayden Oakenbaugh, 2 big athletic men going head-to-head. Oakenbaugh at full flight, Oates as high as he could, stretched out, unable to hang on to it, and Capewell saves the day. The Dogs still pressing. Can they find a final dagger?
I'll bring it forward here through Pangai Jr. Runs at Carrigan and Haas. How many times have they come together, those two? Haas and Pangai Jr. Battle Royale. Vaughan, Burden, Naden, 2-on-1 into the backfield. Reynolds, he had Adokar. He hung on to it. Reynolds takes him down. What a play by the skipper. From Burden, beyond Oates, from sideline to sideline they go. Hetherington, terrific tackle there by Kelly. It looked spectacular, it was okay. Back to the middle again. They are firing shots left and right. Burton, Dufty back on the inside. Reynolds is there to stop him.
He's come up with some huge play, Reynolds, defensively this set.
Waddell from dummy half.
He can't move, Reynolds.
Burton.
He can't move.
Beyond Oates, Pangai Jr. heads back towards Reynolds. Pops it out the back. Adokar is there. Reynolds is out on his feet. The Fox goes down. Not held though. Play on. Here's Averillo. It comes to Hetherington. The Bulldogs pressing. He couldn't get it away. Averillo was there. Couldn't link with him. Beyond Oates. Rubbers. Off legs. Tessie New has it. The Broncos survive.
They were hit everywhere there, the Broncos defensively. Adam Reynolds, some huge plays. That right edge of the Broncos on their haunches. Kevy Walters riding every moment. He can't sit down. It's been an enthralling battle. The Broncos now holding on for grim death. Barrett, he can't take his eyes off it.
Here is Corey Oates, Sunday night with Matty Johns. Up next, right here on Fox League. Do not go anywhere. Haas, big carry once again. He's been enormous, as always. Tessie New, Kelly, Reynolds from inside the 40. Didn't quite have the angle. Dufty gets there, and the game comes down to this set. The Bulldogs from their own end. Both teams absolutely out on their feet.
Tavita Pangai Jr. just crossing halfway. He just cannot get himself back on side. Vaughan's another. Beyond Oates. They're not back yet.
They're playing with 10. They get themselves back onside now. Pangai Jr. still in the Broncos defensive line. He's had a relapse. He thinks he's back at Red Hill. 3 plays gone. Beyond Oates slowly off the ground. It comes back to Jackson. Walters, he's got energy. The fresh man on the field. Nobody at dummy half. Dufty gives it to Beyond Oates. He says, I don't want it. Hetherington, what's he got left? He takes on the middle forwards. They'll stop him again through Haas and Carrigan. Last play, 20 seconds remaining. Goes to Averillo. Adokar kicks back on the inside.
Kelly.
It's saved.
What's he doing there?
Kelly from across the field. He's all smiles. He saved the game for Brisbane.
Can you believe it? Albert Kelly from the far side of the field gets back. They're out on their feet. Everyone's out on their feet. Brisbane, what a win.